we were able to triumph over all other Russian warlords. So, we have got a bright future ahead of us. There's so much more to do. Last video, Rodzaevsky took the tiny little state known as Amur to Russian reunification. We are now a major power on the global stage. However, like I said previously, there is so much more to do. We are still aligned with the Japanese. We have more motivation than ever. The people are thriving, they're happy. Or so the most part. But we cannot celebrate yet. There is so much more to do. We're gonna jump straight into the video by invading our southern neighbor, the Socialist Republic of Kazakhstan. We've got a whopping 60 divisions, so this should be enough to tackle the southern communist threat. So, as we began our invasion, we put our air force and army both to work immediately. We were still recovering from the Russian reunification war against the Russian People's Union, but that did not stop us. Our army was ready. We hastily maneuvered around Kazakhstan's divisions, cutting them into 3 bits. We captured the capital, leading to the ultimate capitulation. We would fully assimilate them into our new and better nation. A major victory, a small victory, but yeah, still a major victory for the Russian national state. We can't invade the rest of Central Asia. We have to wait till Turkish Kines is concluded, so I guess we'll wait in the meantime. Now we've got a little focus tree before we actually get the rest of our focus tree for the Second West Russian War. We are just gonna say that our nation is extremely powerful, it's doing well, our nation's people is happy, everything's good. I mean, basically everything is good, realistically, but we're just gonna spread out a little bit of propaganda to increase stability a bit more, because as you can see, stability compared to war support isn't looking the best currently. We're also gonna construct our own faction, the Collective Security Bloc. We have only got ourselves, but we only need the Russian Slavic people to actually be a functioning nation. Anyways, that's besides the point. We are now actually a major power, competing against the likes of Japan, America, and Germany and its allies. We're also going to intervene in the Iranian civil war. Why? Because I think if we support the Islamic Republic of Iran and help them win in the civil war, we'll be able to get them as a puppet or into our faction and economic sphere. And I think it's time for an army reform, for as we have got 1.1 million manpower, but only a few 100,000 men deployed in the field. So it's time to build up our army. Well, we have completed our little focus tree, which means we get the large focus tree. And with the Second West Russian War fan work or whatever, fan-made thing or whatever, this means it's updated and we get a whole bunch more content than the stupid, what was it, you can only do like 2 focuses before you can invade Germany, which was in 1973. You've got an army, political, economic, international, diplomatic, everything that you would find in normal focus trees, in the super regional focuses and stuff like that, are all in this, but 10 times better. We have also got to continue the 8th 5-year plan, in hopes to become the #1 world power economic-wise. Well, since we're already going down the continuation of the 8th 5-year plan, we may as well go down the economic side of the focus tree first. With these nearly quiet focuses, we'll be able to improve our military industry, civilian industry, business industry, basically everywhere in our industry and economics. The workforce was a dream, everything was a dream for Russia's industry. We would also open some scientific or whatever, some, just research facilities across the nation to improve our nation's future. We would also develop nuclear weaponry, which I hope we won't use in the future. But anyways, with the completion of this focus, we would officially complete the economic side of this brand new focus tree. Now we can move on over to our military, and as that focus said, our military is in need of reform. We're gonna go down the left side of the army focus tree for now, just because it has best stats, that's all. Oh yeah, Tickus Guinness is kicked off, but I'm gonna leave them be for now, because I wanna see if State of the Ticks will emerge victorious. I'm just curious. Alright, so Tickus Guinness has been concluded, and Afghanistan has emerged victorious actually. So I think it's time for us to intervene, so we can actually get not only Central Asia, but also Afghanistan. I don't know if Afghanistan counts as Central Asia, but Russian Central Asia plus Afghanistan. It's going to be soon assimilated into our empire. And assimilated they would be. We had our entire army launch a full-scale invasion on every front we had. We capitulated the former state of the Turks with ease, but the state of Afghanistan surrendered. Pretty lame, but you know what? We would have beat them anyways, so I'm just gonna say that we also get them as a puppet. Well, we have now officially completed both the economic and military side of our focus tree, but you see there's 60... oh, never mind, it's gone up. But it's not 100% like a war support. I'm talking about our stability, of course. So I completed the people side of the focus tree, meaning we can now officially enact some diplomacy. We'll first start with Asia. We're going to go to Tokyo. I mean, we've already got some good ties with the Japanese. However, we did break away from the economic sphere, but they do hold some major cities like Vladivostok and other states that we used to have during the Soviet and Russian Empire times. So we're going to undergo some negotiations via the Vladivostok Accord, to gain our former territories. And staying in Asia, we would also fathom and create the West China War. We would form the National Chinese Republic, meaning we can send them volunteers to help them in the war against Tibet and that other former Japanese puppet state. Now, I know my game's a bit laggy, but it just does the work for me, so sorry if it's a bit laggy. I can't really do anything at this point, but yeah. And as you can see, we did lose them. However, I do not take defeat as an answer. So instead of just sucking it up, I would instead go back to a save file and help the National Chinese Republic by 10 times more than I did. I realized, what was actually going on. The Japanese puppets was a major problem, so I had to send as many volunteers as quick as possible and air support to defeat them before moving on to Tibet, who weren't much of a problem. I don't know why the National Republic of China or whatever had such a low capitulation percentage, but oh well. Tibet and the Japanese puppet would both crumble and be assimilated into the newly formed Chinese state. Anyways, I forgot to mention that we had many victories in the Vladivostok Accords, leading to complete and utter Russian victory. With the Treaty of Beijing, we would officially gain all of our former Russian territories. as the year was 1975. The Russian people were still angered from what happened committed by the Germans during the Second World War. The Russians are ready for the Great Slavic Reclamation. We have unlocked a little new section of our already new focus tree. We must commence Operation Bagration to avenge those who lost everything during the unfortunate war of the Second World War, which is all Russians, children, man or woman. They all lost everything. So Mr. Konstantin Rodzaevsky and his army, Air Force and Navy are all prepared to fight the Second West Russian War and to commence Operation Bagration.
Катюша, на высокий берег, на крутой.
It was of the Germans. They knew it. We had captured the Baltics, Belarus, all of Moscovian, Caucasus, and Ukraine. We had defeated all of their allies, the French, Dutch, Hungarians, Slovaks, Polish, Romanians, you name it. They had declared unconditional surrender. And just like that, basically all of our former Russian territories, which were stolen from the Germans unjustifiably during the Second War, are now back under Russian control. They are not totally assimilated, whereas the influence and the horrors that were committed from the Germans still linger in their former Reichskommissariats. So we have got the objective at hand of reintegrating our territories. We have to repair what the Germans have destroyed. However, we are not done with the war just yet. We are also going to invade our southern neighbors, the Armenians and the Turkish. The Armenians, or not Armenians, the Turkish, stole rightful Russian territory from us when we were weak, just like the Japanese and Germans. They managed to get influence over Armenia. So, it's time to not only reconquer that, but also show them who are the dominant powers of the Bosporus. But yeah, I just want to say, if you guys feel take offense to anything said or done in this video, just to make clear, this is all for educational and entertainment purposes. Nothing more, nothing less. But just like that, the Turkish had been defeated, along with the Armenian puppets. A major victory for the Slavic people. We gained them as a puppet, and they've got an interesting leader, but I'm not complaining. All the way back in 1962, we were a puny little state that was basically a Japanese puppet. However, Konstantin Rodzaevsky and the Slavic people of the Russian national state have all defied odds, not only reuniting Russia, but also reclaiming our foreign lands in the outskirts of Manchuria, Central Asia, Moscovian, Caucasus, Baltics, Belarus, Ukraine, you name it. We also gained puppets in Turkey and the majority of Chinese lands. You know, they might not be the interesting and industrialized Chinese lands, but they are still the majority of Chinese lands. But anyways, I'm pretty sure that we are the number one power, the most strongest. Rodzaevsky is pretty happy with himself, although his time is soon to come. But that's beside the point. We've created a Russia that is powerful, with an interesting ideology. Personally, I'd rate this playthrough probably 8 or 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. It was pretty interesting. I've never played a fascist Russian state in TNO before, so I recommend you give it a try. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and